Have you ever underexposed your photos? Taken the most beautiful spiritualistic event ever burned into the depths of celluloid, only to find out that bish be darker than the last few months of 2023? Missing the moment that maybe your grandma was living her whole life to witness because she couldn't make it out to the barbecue this year? Nah, that's never happened to me either. Welcome back to another blip of the internet we like to call Steps and Stones. Recently I've had a few people ask about the name and what it means, and the answer is, it doesn't mean anything. The only thing it meant to me at the time when making this channel before it turned into what it was a snazzy little play on the phrase sticks and stones. Cause I'm an emotional bitch that likes the outdoors. I thought about maybe changing it when the channel took on a life of its own last year, but I really don't think YouTube needs another page that's cleverly titled something to the realm of grain or f-stop. Their aesthetic is but I kind of think we have enough already. Although you could make the Hail Mary argument that steps is just another way to say stops, as in f-stop. No, we're reaching. Let's be real, it's just a cute ass name. But you didn't come here for story time. You clicked on this video because you need your next photo outing to go without a hiccup. Plot twist, we shoot film. It's all a hiccup. Just some come out a little easier than others. For the last year or so, as some of you that are already familiar with the channel know, I've almost been exclusively shooting with the Nikon F2 that's rocking a broken light meter, and when I don't, I often shoot with my Canonet QL 17. So for almost every shot that I've taken this year, every adventure, every outing, or gig that I was hired on, I've either been using Sunny 16 or a light meter app on my phone. But with the last few months trying so many different types of film that are brand new, I've really gravitated towards the phone app so I can be more specific. And don't get me wrong, especially for night shoots, this easy to use tool has been a godsend for these outings. But my main issue is it really tends to lean middle of the road and kind of almost sometimes a little bit underexpose my photos, really preferring the highlights to be exposed correctly instead of the entire image, especially when it comes to daylight metering. You absolutely can drag your fingers, similar to changing the aperture in your camera app, to change the exposure and result expectations, but the timing of this can really slow you down and in some cases maybe miss the shot altogether. Let's be real. Turning to a medium like film photography and then using a smartphone to then tell you how to expose your shot almost feels wrong. And if I'm being honest, kind of sort of takes me out of the moment. Not only are you now looking at a screen, but you're disconnected with your subject, and the experience is no longer tactile and satisfying in a sense. Even my Fuji X-T5 can accomplish this feeling better, due to the dials and instruments being all available and ready to change at a moment's notice. So when I'm shooting film, and not wanting to rely so much on Sunny 16 for every single shot, what would be the best affordable answer to fix this problem? To me, it was finally time to take the plunge and invest in a proper light meter. The obvious answer for most people is to make your way into the Sekonic ecosystem, but that still kind of felt like an extended distraction in my opinion. Maybe I would feel differently if I was mostly shooting in studio lighting, but I shoot mostly landscapes and street. What I really like photographing is almost a fleeting, ever-changing moment that I almost never want to take my eye off before pulling the trigger. So a hot shoot mount appealed to me much better than any other option on the market. Something I could look down and adjust in real time along with my camera settings, resulting in the quickest feedback and experience possible. There are more than a handful of these smaller accurate light meters on the market between Keck's and Voigtlander mounts, but most of these options are either a digital display, which kind of doesn't solve the issue I'm speaking to, or they're a bit out of my price range for someone who's trying to save money on film usage already. So that's how I landed on the TTArtisan option. Now I have to say, this is not a sponsored video, this is me genuinely just kind of liking this product and wanting to report what I found. Similar to the Voigtlander in almost every way, except for that price tag. You can almost argue that this is a very similar or budget version. And TTArtisan, mostly known for being kind of a budget product company, really provided a piece that I think holds up nicely and feels good to use. I already own a lens for my Fuji that I, in transparency, don't use quite as often as the 35, but it really does hold up nicely for the vast difference in price, and the build quality isn't half bad either. So I took the risk and wanted to report my findings to you, if you're also in the market for a budget-friendly and reliable light meter. The TTArtisan Light Meter comes neatly packaged, and the first thing you notice is its compact size. It's lightweight, making it really convenient and not putting too much heft to my camera body or anything else that I have to have around my neck. Also, please don't lose that little screwdriver. You're gonna need it, homie. Taking a closer look at the design, the TTArtisan Light Meter has a sleek and minimalistic appearance. The build quality feels sturdy, and I appreciate the tactile button and easy to read dials. However, I did read a few reviews that said that the hot shoe screws broke off, and now those people have to carry around the light meter in their pocket. Luckily, that hasn't happened to me, but I have had to adjust and sort of tighten these screws. I've only used it maybe 3 or 4 rolls at this point, and there is a little bit of movement and give now. So I'm gonna tighten it again and hope for the best. I feel like anyone that already knows how to use their camera and the exposure system on it will know how to use this product. And if not, green means go, red means you better watch it, Buster, allowing you to dial in the correct or intended mood that you want to create in your scene. This gives you the chance to change your ISO and manipulate how you'd like to properly expose your image between the aperture and shutter speed. The meter isn't going to do anything you don't want to do, it's just going to hold your hand and try to help you get there. Once you point the meter in a direction or subject, press the button. It will give you a reading on that area selected, but it is not a live meter that will constantly give you readings as you move the instrument around. It will only navigate the settings based on what you selected when pressing the button. So possibly first meter for your shadows, and then the highlights, and then find a happy medium that'll expose both to your liking. Or just do whatever you want, but you'll need to press that small button every time you want a new reading. This might be a hang up for some, but as someone with a camera that has basically no light meter, this really doesn't slow me down at all. And it's way faster than pulling out the phone app every single time I want to take an image. I took this meter out with 2 different cameras pretty recently to test its capabilities and see how reliable and consistent it can be to use. I use my Canonet that you've seen me use more than once on this channel, as well as the, hey, we'll talk about that camera, just not yet. That's another video. Calm down. During the holiday season, my buddy Jake over at 3313 Photography came to town, and we did a little burst of some street stuff over in downtown in Hollywood.
This is so meta right now. It's so meta, you gonna video me video you.
This would be my first 2 rolls shot with the meter, and I was really excited to see how accurate these settings would be compared to what I normally do. These shots came out really nice. Who doesn't love a candid shot of the Grinch getting a citation in the Grove during Christmas? This could quite possibly be one of my most iconic images I took all year. And I have this light meter to thank for pretty flawlessly nailing the exposure during this fast and fleeting moment. More recently, I took out a camera for its maiden voyage to capture a few quieter moments at my cousin's wedding reception down in San Clemente. I didn't take very many shots, but the ones I did are bangers, to say the least. I love these images a lot. My family out there, of course, has a beautiful home, but the quality and overall timeless feeling of these photos is something I'm actually really proud of. One thing I really value in photography gear is its ease of use. As I'm not the biggest gearhead and I'm not trying to impress anybody, I just want to get the best image. And the TTArtisan Light Meter didn't disappoint. Navigating through the settings was intuitive and made sense because it's just like using them on your own camera. It actually felt like an extension of the camera, like something that had always been part of the body itself. So if you are in need of stepping up your game and don't want to break the bank, maybe look into one. Don't let grandma down again. She was very upset. Holding for plane, we're doing great.